Fight fans. This is Kurt Field with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live. Beautiful day. Perfect day, actually. Got a lot done today, man. I mean, a lot done. This was the perfect, ideal day to get things that I needed to get done, and I'm still doing it. So I wanted to reach out to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the content of the day. Of course, this is the next big fight, if you want to call it a fight, because it's more like an exhibition. But to let Mike Tyson have it, or tell it, it's not, because Mike goes full octane whenever Mike Tyson gets into the ring. He's taking on the problem child, someone that is twice his age, and that's what makes it very, very interesting. Okay. You guys come in, hit the like button. I know this is a spontaneous live stream. The bad news, we have good news and we have bad news, okay? The good news is we're live now. The bad news is I won't be able to go live Sunday because they'll be fighting to appease the Australian crowd, okay? And since they'll be doing so, oh no, we can't have that. Oh no. But the problem is they will be in a situation where it'll be coming on 11 o'clock Sunday. I'll be on the road trip Sunday and I won't be able to do it live because I have to go to retrieve some stuff in Texas, so I won't be able to cover the fight. But I wish Tim Tszyu the best of luck. But I will go live Monday or Sunday afternoon, probably after it's over, whenever I get to where I'm going. Okay, so that is, as they say, is that. When you guys come in, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Actually, just finished lunch. Actually, a late lunch. Went to Chipotle. You know. Got this berry aqua fresca pomegranate, whatever you want to call it. All right. Good stuff. Can't complain. But yeah, Tim Tszyu is fighting. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I hope it's a good fight. He kind of looks like Artur Beterbiev, but skinny. Looks like a skinny Artur Beterbiev, don't he? You know? So I know you guys don't get notifications. YouTube don't love me no more. So they just, you know, they don't send out anything. You just got to find me on YouTube. So if I'm live, it'll show that I'm live. So, I mean, they'll do that much. Big up YouTube. Shout out to them. But they're not sending any notifications out. Not really. And if they are, thank you. And if they're not, well, we already expect it because too many people have told me they never get notifications. But nonetheless, man, you know, moving on. Got a lot of content out for you guys today. From the Did Lie Joe to Damned If I Know. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been getting some weird news from YouTube lately from people that have similar issues that, like, they've stopped promoting channels. Like certain channels, they just do that. And that's kind of scary because I have never, like certain channels, I have never paid, nor schemed, nor begged, nor any of that to get views nor subscribers. So I have done it in a purely organic way. You know, getting subscribers is like, okay, someone likes your channel, they hit the subscribe button. Sure. But other than that, you know, I've heard of people paying money just to get subscribers. But it's like, okay, what kind of subscribers are you getting? Who would want that? So, you act like you don't see me, just don't hit me. Cunt. But, yeah. I you know, you do it the organic way, you don't have to worry about it, but I still don't understand the whole algorithm thing. You know, I probably got to talk to someone a little smarter than me, more technically savvy, because to my knowledge, you know, the more subscribers that you have, the more people are notified, so the more people jump on. I mean, that's my understanding, but I guess I got that all wrong, right? So, you know, but we got a nice little crowd in here, so let's start the show. You know, I've been doing a lot of cardio, man. Been doing a lot of cardio, and the cardio has helped me. I'm getting stronger since, you know, my scare. So that scare woke everybody. It definitely woke me up, man. You know, so I'm like, you know what? Things are changing. You know, gotta switch up some things, do things for the better. So, speaking on boxing, though, I want to talk about David Tua, man. David Tua was one of my favorite fighters, man. David Tua was, he was kind of like to me, a heavyweight version of Manny Pacquiao, because he wasn't like a bad guy. He was always a, you know, soft-spoken, God-fearing, you know, island guy. You know what I mean? Polynesian. You know, he comes with, you know, he represents his heritage. He comes in, Manatanua, and he, you know, he throws one punch. He could be getting, what, like chinned. You know what I mean? Because he had this granite chin, big calf muscles the size of his head. You know what I mean? And, you know, it was, you know, he's, I like to see him fight. You know, I was a big David Tua fan. So, you know, Lennox Lewis pieced him up, boxed him all night. You know, pissed me off. It's funny, the night he lost, I broke up with my girlfriend that night. Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was a huge Tua fan. But anyway, Tua's had some ups and downs. I mean, he really hasn't been the same since then. He got beat by Chris Bird. Chris Bird, you know, went on to fight the Klitschko's, both of them. David Tua, he kind of went local. The money that he made, he pretty much, it dissolved, it fizzed out, you know, and he was sleeping in his car for a while. That was kind of sad, and I don't know if he's still doing that. I think he's back on his feet, but I think he's mostly now just kind of like a New Zealand gym rat. You know, he just kind of chills at the gym and hangs out at the gym, and you know, I don't think he really does anything much more. I know his ass eats because he has he has a belly on him now. I mean, he's solid, but he's still, he's Samoan. And those boys eat good, which means they eat bad. Okay? And the commercial, I don't know if you guys seen it last night, or this morning rather, because I did the video last night. He took a jab at Mike Tyson. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that. He took a jab at Mike. It's like, hey, Mike ain't got nothing on this, or something like that. And I thought that was kind of strange because David Tua gets along with everybody. So that leads me to believe that David Tua is doing some type of, he said that for a reason. He's doing some type of publicity. He's talking up Tyson's name for a reason. Now, either he wants a Jake Paul fight, or he's hoping Mike Tyson would knock out Jake Paul so he can get a Mike Tyson fight. I don't know what you guys think about that. Nobody's saying nothing. I mean, normally I would get like a shout out from somewhere. You guys give me a shout out. Tell me where you're from. I just see 30 strangers looking at me. Maybe you guys are all driving. No, not on my murderer road, murderer's drive or something, you know. But I just found that strange because David Tua don't come off like the trash talking type of dude. He just comes off kind of like a humble, like help a lady, an old lady across the street type cat. So I don't know why he was like Mike Tyson ain't got nothing on these. I'm like, okay, that's different. What the hell's up with David? What's up with Tua? What's up with Tua the Terminator? What's up with the throwing Samoan? What's up with him? Because now all of a sudden he's just calling out Mike's name, and Mike ain't said nothing bad about Tua. In fact, Mike Tyson was the guy that said the funniest shit about David Tua. I'm gonna give you guys what me and a friend of mine, Misty, say useless trivia, right? So useless trivia would be Mike Tyson said this about David Tua. Mike Tyson was like, excuse me, he said, you know, I want David Tua to be a part of my crew. You know, I want him to be a part of my crew, and you know, he's a bad motherfucker, man. I just like him, man. I like him. So he one of the guys that I know. You know, what you gonna do when you getting your ass kicked? What you gonna do? You do what David Tua. You stay and fight. You stay and hang in there like he did where Ike Barabucci was a fucking monster. He was a monster. That's what he was. He was a monster, and he stayed in there and he kept banging away at this guy, even though this guy was kicking his ass. You know what I mean? He was just trying to, trying to do what he was doing, and he was still getting his ass kicked. And it showed he's tough. David Tua's tough. He's a tough kid, and I like David Tua. He should be one of my crew. Now that's old Mike back in the day. He's kind of a little more nasally and a little slower now, but you know he's getting older, a little bit more rasky because he's been hitting the green, right? So, you know, it is what it is. I think that he has a lot of respect for David, and I think David does for him until. Not saying he dissed him. It's just it was very unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like why would you? What was the reason for that? You know what I mean? Because I know he's expecting Tyson to say something either. Well, let's get it on. What are you saying that for? What do you want to do? You know what I mean? Something. I think he's expecting some feedback. He's expecting a counterpunch. That's what David Tua is expecting of Mike Tyson. A counterpunch. He's expecting a counterpunch. Quiet kept. So, I mean, I look at that like, look, David Tua versus Mike Tyson now, I don't want to see that. I mean, because for one, Mike Tyson, similar styles, but Mike has always been more mobile. Mike has always been smaller, you know, except when he got out of jail. But then Tua was like the baby Tyson going through the 90s. So the backstory with David Tua. David Tua he fought Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman and David Tua, I think, fought to the 10th round. In the end of round 9, David Tua caught Rahman after the bell. And he rung Rahman's bell pretty good. Now, the problem was, when the bell rang for the 10th round, Tua jumped on him. And when he jumped on him, Hasim Rahman was pretty much caught in the ropes. So Rahman was caught in the ropes like this, kind of with his defense. And the problem was, he was sitting, his ass was sitting down on the bottom rope. And then the middle rope was keeping him up. So you had the middle rope keeping him up. He's sitting on the last row. And then the top row, of course, I guess was, also gave him support. But David Tua was ranging to the body, throwing left hooks, overhand rights, uppercuts, and he was just welling away at Hasim Rahman. Now, he wasn't landing every shot, though, but he was landing here and there. And a guy, I think his name was Dragovich or whatever his name, the referee Dragovich, he stopped the fight. Rahman shoved him because he was like, what are you doing? It was very controversial. It was a punch behind, but after the bell in the 9th, no one said anything about that, honestly, but it was a hard punch. Tua hit this boy with a left hook. He hit Hasim Rahman Sr. with a left hook that made sweat fly off of him, bro. That punch, and David knew he hit it because David looked back at him after he caught him like, yeah. That's why in the 10th round, he came right back out and repeated the process. And he got the stoppage because they stopped it too early. It was an early stoppage. But nothing was really never done of that. Hasim Rahman was, I believe, was 18-0 at that time. He was 18-0. Was he? Yeah, I think he was 18-0, or was he? Did he have 18 knockouts? I know he was undefeated. David Tua had that one loss to Ike Barabucci. Okay, so this was before. This is after he fought Ike. So that set David Tua up to be a mandatory for Lennox Lewis's title. Okay, well, he sat on that for years. 3 years. That was 97. I think that was the undercard of Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather and Angel Manfredi. Okay, so this is back in 97, bro. I wasn't even out of high school yet. That's how long ago this was. You know what I mean? I was like a senior in high school at that time, okay? So, yeah, he set on that. So by the time he fought, I was 20 years old. Or was I 21? I think I was 21. So by the time he fought, I had probably just turned 21 because it was later in the year. It was like in November when Lewis fought David Tua. Well, when David Tua came and it was time for him to get his mandatory shot, this cat went from 230 and gained like 20 some odd pounds. He came in like 252, 253. 5'10", 253 pounds. And what made it so killing was this cat, he didn't have the shaved head. You remember David Tua used to have a shaved head before, like he has right now. He has a shaved coconut head, no hair at all, soldier cut, soldier slick, ready for battle, right? No. Then this dude had a bird's nest. He looked like Kid and Play. His hair was way up here, and then, it was like a bird's nest. And it was, and it got it. Look, and when Lennox Lewis start start popping him in the face, guess what started happening? The damn bird's nest started to fall over in front of his face. He couldn't even see. He was moving his damn hair out from under his eyes like he was Shaggy Dog or something. So it was a real shit show. It was. It was a cluster. And he got boxed, outboxed, and outboxed for many, many, many rounds. And that fight went very, very slowly. That's the story of David Tua. And David Tua really, he tried to come back. He beat a guy, I think, Donnell Nicholson. Then he beat Frez Okendo, the Big O. If you guys remember him, Frez, the Big O Okendo. He was the guy mostly known for breaking Clifford the Black Rhino ATN's reign. So if you guys don't know anything about heavyweight boxing, let me educate you from 20 years back. 20 years back, you had a plethora of heavyweights that were off the chain, okay? You had, of course, David Tua, which we were talking about. He was in that boat. You had Ike Barabucci, which both of them miraculously are in their 50s and they're trying to come back to the sport. You had Chris Bird, which he spilt the beans. He didn't even supposed to be a heavyweight. He's supposed to be a middleweight. I don't know why he did that. You had Hasim Rahman, which Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis in South Africa and became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Okay, at one point. He lost it right back, but he did that one time. Okay. Who else? Lawrence Claybay was a good fighter. Very fast, very slick, but he was very hesitant. Clifford the Black Rhino ATN. Okay, so you had him. Lamont Brewster, which Clifford beat him as well. Frez Okendo, which we just started talking about. And he was a guy that upset Clifford ATN. ATN, mind you, was a guy that learned how to start fighting in prison. In prison, he went to jail for armed robbery. He stayed and did his time. He got out on good behavior. He learned how to box in prison. He was pretty damn good. He took those skills that he learned in prison, got out of prison, and started kicking some ass. And Clifford Rhino, actually, the night rather, that Lennox Lewis fought David Tua, Clifford, the Black Rhino ATN, and Lawrence Claybay had the best fight on the card. The best fight on the card. Okay. And that's what everybody talked about, because the Tua and Lewis fight was shite. Bars. Right? Bars. So, yeah, that's the type of fighter he was. He was very entertaining. Clifford the Black Rhino ATN is also known for getting knocked out in like 42 seconds by Mike Tyson. Now that was, that just shows you Mike Tyson doesn't play around. Don't mess with Mike. And this is after Mike got knocked out by Lennox Lewis. This is after all that stuff. I think this was really when Mike started to indulge in the Pablo Escobar, the snow. So he started really indulging in that because, he was doing stuff that he didn't supposed to. But that was before we learned that Mike Tyson actually used clean. He had a plastic penis that he urinated from to pass drug tests. That's crazy. So all those times, Mike was, Lou Savarese, Francois Botha, probably Lennox Lewis too. Mike Tyson was high. Mike Tyson was high. So, but back to these heavyweights. These guys were the pinnacle. They were the plethora. Like we talk about the Zili Zangs now, the Martin McCauleys, the Joseph Parkers, the Aget Caballos, the Otto Weilans, you know what I mean? The Jarrell Millers, the Daniel Dubois. Okay, I'm talking about that era. That era was off the chain. And they were a good era until the infamous Klitschko's took over. And really by that time, Clifford Etienne had went back to jail. Lamont Brewster, I think he got a win over one of those Klitschko's, but it was an upset win. Francois Botha was trash by then. He really wasn't good to me. He was an awkward fighter. Who else? Ika Barabucci was in jail. David Tua, again, he wasn't anything like he used to be. His diet was terrible, and he had to punch, had to chin, but just didn't have the motivation. He was just kind of, very, very lackadaisical in the ring. But there was no one really for the Klitschko's. That's why the era sucked. Because all these guys I named, the Barabucci's, the Clifford ATNs, guys like that. Chris Bird, he beat one of the Klitschko's, right? He had a win over one of the Klitschko's. Again, short-lived. There was no one to combat those Klitschko brothers. And so the Klitschko became this boring, dark, black bridge between the heavyweight division from probably 05, 04, 05 to 15. Yeah. Lennox Lewis, he got in that scare with Vitali, got the hell out of Dodge because that was, I think that was too competitive for him. But he did say, to be fair, he was going to retire anyway. So he got the hell out of Dodge. So there was no Lennox Lewis. Hasim Rahman, I think the last I heard of him, who did he get beat by? Hasim Rahman got destroyed by Alexander Povetkin. You know what I mean? He just got too old. Okay. So that era was dead. And here's the thing about boxing. If you stay dedicated and you guys stick with me and you guys learn from me, guys like Showbiz and, guys that are historians in the sport, Bruce Vane, he's pretty good. You will learn that, and you will see the trend of these different eras rise and fall. Look what happened to Joshua lately. If that happens again to Joshua, we just know that's an end of his reign. Okay? And that's becoming an end of the era. You think about it. Povetkin destroyed Rockman, right? I just got through in Germany. Povetkin destroyed Rockman. It was sad. He beat Rockman like, what was his name? Like Tommy Morrison was beaten by, not Razor Ruddock, but what's the Marine guy's name? Damn it. It's fleeting. But somebody help me out. But anyway, I don't know. Wait a minute. I should have. There we go. Okay, there we go. Ray Mercer. There we go. Thank you. Dude, I am just seeing for the first time comments. Does Kurt have a Discord? What's a Discord? Obviously I don't. I don't know what that is. But, oh, okay. Hey, Daniel. Hey, all right, let's do this. Chris Bird lost against Vitali, but beat Vladimir twice. There you go, Mama Lou. And then they had crazy contracts. Yeah, Hatman Strikes Back's good. What's up, Skrilla50 in the building? Can you tingle my... Yeah, you guys are... Yeah, okay, what's up? Birmingham, England. What's up, brother Billy, the Kid 2.0? Luca. Okay, cool. All right, so this whole division, right? The whole division, that was gone. This division will be gone too. And we'll see it fleet. We'll see these fighters get overtaken by other fighters. And that's what we need to see. That's what we want to see. But we need someone strong enough, good enough, exciting enough, interesting enough to take up that cross and walk with it. Because, you know, that's my only concern. In his prime, would Mike beat today's big heavyweights? Yes. The reason why I say he would, because other fighters that were smaller or smaller than the bigger heavyweights did it. You know what I mean? Alexander Usyk's not a big heavyweight, but he beat all the heavyweights that mattered, didn't he? He beat everybody in front of him. So you don't need to be this big guy to beat big guys. You don't need that. So I think that's what that's about, man. I think if anything, we have David Tua calling out Mike Tyson. These guys, David Tua's broke too. He's broke. I don't know if he's not homeless. I think he has a place to stay. Last thing I heard, he was sleeping in his truck. Usyk tall for the era. No, he's not really. He's taller than me. But understand, 6 years ago, he was considered short. Because the norm was what? Tyson Fury 6'9", Deontay Wilder 6'7", Anthony Joshua 6'6", Joe Joyce 6'5", Daniel Dubois 6'5", Arslan Mark Mudhoff 6'8". No, Usyk tall for that era, Kurt, not this one. Well, he's all right. I mean, what is he, 6'3"? Yeah, he's 6'3". He's an inch taller than I am. Who has the best chance at beating Usyk? Somebody that has the stamina or someone that has the power. And I think it's up to them really if they are able to capitalize on their best gifts of having either, you know, the movement, sorry, I had to mute that because, I mean, that music was kind of loud. The bots are on the prowl, people. The bots are on the prowl. Bruno was only 6'2" and seemed quite tall then. Yeah, then. See, big guys were considered like uh, Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was considered a big guy. Tyson ducked Tua in their prime. Team Tua sent a contract. Tyson wanted no smoke. I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that. Do you think Usyk will go down to face Apataya if he wins the next fight? He may. I wouldn't recommend that, though. Would I watch it? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend him doing it. I mean, you're looking at someone like Usyk that has been there for 7 fights. So then you move down to fight Jai Apataya, a guy that's right at 200, you know. Usyk beats Apataya. I mean, Usyk beats Apataya if Usyk can stay Usyk. But if Usyk can't stay Usyk, he will probably lose by someone like Jai Apataya, because Jai Apataya maybe ain't even peaked yet. He's good, but who says he can't get better? Hearing rumors of Huni versus Hrgovic early next year should be fireworks. Who is Huni? Guys, who is Huni? I don't know who that is. Galata and Michael Grant were bigger heavyweights in the past. Yeah, they were. Well, and guess what? They still got folded. Tyson folded Galata. And Galata quit. But, I mean, Mike had already injured him, bro. Mike was a straight savage. He had Galata scared. That dude was scared. Juntis Huni, Australia. Okay, appreciate you. I'll look him up. Apataya and Beterbiev would be a good fight right now. St. Dunn, I agree. Right now. I like how you said that. Right now. See, these guys have expiration dates on them. They're like milk. I mean, cow milk. Right? Not almond milk. They're like cow milk. They have an expiration date on them. Juni beat Lorena and Andrew Tabiti. I remember that. I remember when he beat Lorena. I remember that. I'm Prakash Sawade from Jalgaon, India. Okay. What's up, Prakash? Huni doesn't have a chance. But no. But David Tua calling out Mike Tyson, that's very unorthodox. So moving on. Frazier Clark. Jaw wired shut. Frazier Clark. Yeah, he did scare Galata, to be fair. Marlon, he scared the hell out of Galata. Galata was scared, bro. He was intimidated before he got there. Him and Frank. Frank Bruno was scared too. They were scared of Mike, bro. It's like somebody let a pit bull dog loose. Fury or Usyk for the rematch? That's up in the air, man. I don't know yet. When you going to get the bounty in for an interview? Guys, that's a good question. I've reached out to him, man. He needs to drop me his number so I can start texting him or something. Instagram ain't good enough. And Michael's a good dude. I've interviewed him before. He's been on the channel before. So, and then that was when he was going through this one cat, which was I don't think he was all that professional, in my opinion. And then he started following me on Instagram. So Mike started following me on Instagram, and I was like, okay, is this Mike? Is this a scam? He was like, dude, I thought you were the scamster. I'm like, nah, I'm Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. He was like, I'm Mike Hunter. I'm like, what's up, Mike? And we chatted for a while, and he's supposed to came on, and then the day he's supposed to came on, he got hurt. So he had to go to the specialist and stuff like something with his knee or something like that. So I haven't been able to reach him since. I mean, he's reached out, but I guess the time difference or whatever. You know how people jump on then jump off? So, imagine Slim Fury at cruiserweight. Nope. Fury at cruiserweight will get knocked out, bro. He's too small. You don't lose all that damn weight to go down into another weight class. No, I don't see that. I don't imagine that at all. I don't imagine that at all. Would like to see Hunter and Bakali run it back. You know what? I don't want to see that fight right now. I don't want to see Michael Hunter and Bakali right now. I don't think it's time. You know, the reason why I don't think it's time is because I feel both guys, they fought each other before. Michael Hunter stopped him. He stopped Bakali. But what have they done since then? Martin Bakali has taken out the American Prodigy. That's what he's done since then. Now he's in line to fight I get Caballero, which is number 4 or number 5, or he's number 5, he's number 4, whichever, for the number 1 IBF position. The heavyweight division is going to get very interesting next year. I can't wait to see what happens next year. Love to see you with True Gordy. I'm going to England to see True Gordy. Don't worry, it's going to be next year. It has to be next year. You know, but I don't want to see Michael Bakali. I don't want to see Michael Bakali. I don't want to see Michael Hunter and Bakali run it back right now. I want to see them build. I want to see them do what they need to do. Now, I know Mike is 35. I don't think he has too much time. It depends on how he lives. He's a family man, so I don't think he abuses himself. I don't think he's going home and shooting up or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Bakali versus Caballero, you know, and you know what? I honestly would want Bakali versus Zhang. You know, I think Caballero would be best fit with Joseph Parker. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the David and Goliath thing, I'm thinking is kind of getting played out, don't you think? Right? I mean, that's what I say. But I could be wrong, right? I want to see Hunter back against proper matchups. I do want to see Hunter against someone. See, if Martin Bakali with Boxer, with Ben Shalom, can get good fights, then I expect Michael to get good fights. No bullshit in the breadbasket of Indiana. I don't want to see that. I want to see Michael Hunter be where his ass is deserved. And I understand, because he told me when I interviewed Mike, Michael told me he didn't want to deal with Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn burned him. That's the truth. That's what he told me. He didn't want that deal with him. He didn't want to fight overseas because overseas you're dealing with Hearn. He didn't want to deal with Hearn based on the Alexander Povetkin fight. If you guys can remember, December, was it December 2nd, 2019? He was on the undercard of Ruiz Joshua 2. Michael Hunter was on that undercard. He got dropped by Povetkin. Then he comes back and hurts Povetkin. Then they ruled it a draw. Then Eddie Hearn offers him some shit fights. He wasn't cool with it. So Eddie Hearn told him to mosh off. That's what happened. And he hasn't been able to get proper representation since. But later on, he was offered to fight because he won the purse bid. He won the purse bid. That was his purse bid that he won. That's why I don't agree with that. I hope he ain't got mad with me. What's up, Stuart? But I mean, I can only say what's on my mind, and I can only say how I feel. You know? He should have took that fight, beat Hrgovic, which was Eddie's fighter, got that 7 or 8, I think it was 700,000. Because he got the bulk. He won the purse bid. So he got 70% or 75%. He should have took that, but I don't care where it was at, because that set him back. And because of that fight changed boxing history. Think about what I'm saying. And it's because of Michael Hunter. Okay, Michael Hunter didn't fight Hrgovic, right? Okay, if he would have fought Hrgovic and beat Hrgovic, there would be no Hrgovic. That means that Michael Hunter would have probably had to fight Zhilei Zhang. If he could have beat Zhilei Zhang, guess what? Hrgovic beat Zhang, so where would he be since then? He would then be in position to fight who? Who would he be in position to fight? Who would Michael Hunter be in position to fight? Daniel Dubois. Because at that time, if he didn't want to deal with Eddie Hearn, which would have been stupid, right? He had to do something, right? He would have ended up fighting Daniel Dubois. Think about Michael Hunter and Daniel Dubois. Who do you guys think will win between a fight between Michael Hunter and Daniel Dubois? That could have been 5 versus 5. That could have been Hunter Dubois. Hunter has been less active than Hughie Fury. Well, Hughie ducked him. Hughie ducked Hunter. So a ducker ducks a, inactive fighter, an avoided fighter. Go figure. That's what people do to avoided fighters. They duck avoided fighters. That's why they're avoided, because they're difficult. Nobody wants to smoke with the bounty hunter. Nobody wants that smoke with Michael Hunter, because Michael Hunter is a guy that he's the forgotten American heavyweight. They don't want to. He's been in there with everybody. He's been in there with Tyson Fury. He's been in there with Anthony Joshua. He's been in there with all of those guys. Povetkin. Think about it. Bakali. Wilder. They don't want none of that smoke. They don't want none of that smoke. Caballo would have beat Hunter. I don't know. Who knows that? If he got to his body, he would. And I think Caballo is a tree chopper. He's a tree chopper with good footwork, which makes him 100% dangerous. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. That cat can move like that, but can still go to the body like that too. Do you know what that means? That dude can get close to you, catch you with a 1-2 upstairs, and follow with a left hook and a right to your solar plex and put you down. He punches. His punches remind me of. Do you guys know? I'm thinking of his name. I have to download it. I have to download the data. Vasily Jurov. He punches to the body like Vasily Jurov. Vasily Jurov had this awkward. He was a southpaw, but he had this awkward straight left to the body. And if he catches you with that shot, you're going to go down. Who wins, Bakali, Zhang? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Zhang early, Bakali any other time after that. But then again, Bakali starts fast too. Dude, I see a firefight between two Godzillas. You know what I mean? One from Africa, one from China. Two dragons. Two dragons. Two big ass reptiles going at each other. That's what I see. What's Wilder going to do next? I don't know. Whatever he feels he needs to do. You know what I'm thinking Wilder going to do? Wilder's going to do, he's going to fight whoever gives him the most money, because he needs it. That's the only way that you can really, you can base that on. That's what Wilder's going to do. Wilder is going to fight the person that gives him the most money. That's it. So if it's Derek Chisora, if it's who called him out recently? My man Fabio Ward, just called him out. You know, Francis Ngannou. And I think he's really looking forward to Francis, because I think they see holes in Francis. He doesn't have that boxing experience. Yes, he can hit hard. Yes, he can get knocked out. What's up, brother? But at the same time, I think he supplies the most money coming from the UFC. You know, the expectation from Ngannou based on what he got. What did he get, 10 million? So imagine if Wilder could get 10 million for fighting Ngannou, and then they give Ngannou 5. Because I think Joshua got 20, right? Did he get 20 for fighting? Did he get 20 for fighting Ngannou? Jesus, that woman's tall. Ngannou might KO him. Bro, Ngannou might KO everybody that he fights again. But I mean, if he does, he does. And then guess what that means? Ngannou will be back. Then they will stick Ngannou back in there with somebody that's dangerous. And then they can see what Ngannou can do with everyone else. You know, they'll stick him in there with somebody. Wilder versus Dillian White. I don't see that fight happening, man. I just don't. Because for one, Dillian White hasn't really done enough. I don't think he's done enough, to be fair. I don't think he's done enough. Because, I mean, he fought Christian Hammer, was that last year or was that early this year? I don't think he's done enough. I really don't think you know, he's trying to get fights with Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? He wants a trilogy and, you know, because he's just trying to get his name back on there. And it's bad when you're calling out a fighter that you've already beat. Dillian White is down there with Joe Joyce. I hate to say it, but he is. And he hasn't lost since 2020. But just because you don't lose, your inactiveness, your inactivity can be the reason for you losing steam, right? And that's what that's about. He's losing steam. What has Wilder done other than take losses of late? Well, he's been active, and that's nothing. He's been getting beat. He's been getting knocked out. But, I mean, he's got decisioned. He's got knocked out, So, doesn't matter, man. They have the history. Well, I guess. Now I'm just looking to see if they started my car yet. I don't even know if they started yet. I don't usually care for rematches, fight somebody different. I'm with you. I'm tired of the rematches. White is Wardley's manager. White does do some managing. He does do some managing, don't he? What's happening with two-time loser Franklin? Well, Franklin beat an undefeated guy in one of those DAZN cards, and he just won in his hometown. So he's 2 up. Yeah, he's back on the win column. Gaza will not be watching the zoo fight. I'll watch it after. I'll be on a road trip, so I won't be able to do it live. Your lives are great. So, what's up, Black Warrior Spirit? What's up, bro? Darth Lego, what's up, Kurt the Hurt? How you feeling, man? I've been feeling good, man. Been feeling good, real good. Yeah, appreciate you, Darth Slagle. How you been, man? Any boxing on this weekend? No, we got Tim Zoo this weekend. He comes in on a Sunday though, because he's Australian, so they're a day away. Oscar, now I have escaped Cali. Now I'm sitting in Bogota. Evil wife won't sign. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, Bogota. You say, man, I'm busier than a cat scratching in a litter box. Yeah, man, they fire all down there, man. Strangeness. Yeah, they are, bro. I went in, I think February. No, or was it March? Yeah, I went in March. Okay, I am off and running. Wouldn't fire Malik for the sake of doing. He knows Deontay well. Yes, Bogota. The the Rolas, Selenias, and Pasas are okay though. I have a gypsy in Romania. Nice. Yeah, buddy. Adios, ex-wife. Hola, amores. Yeah, buddy. How the hell you change this back over? Hold on a second. Yeah. Trying to there we go. Damn. All right. Kurt, who wins Fabio Worley versus Anthony Joshua right now? Well, I'll say this about Joshua. If Joshua ain't ready, I mean, and I don't see him actually coming in doing any of those things that he did with anybody the way he did. Because see, that's why I like Daniel. Daniel did his job. But understand, Daniel is only a guy that would have happened with a lot of other guys. Now Daniel can punch, no doubt. He just did it. He had the tools to do it, but it's the heavyweight division. It ain't like Daniel's the only person that can punch. He ain't the only person that can fucking punch in the heavyweight division. If Anthony Joshua would have done that Ryan Garcia chin up in the air shit, he would have got caught with anybody. You know? So, I mean, either that same thing would have happened to him. Bakali, Zhang, that would have happened. I think AJ still beats Worley, but only just. Wilder getting up there in boxing years and wear and tear on his body adds up. Wilder's in it for the money, man. If Wilder can knock out somebody, clap for him, praise him, because you're not going to see too much of that. It ain't, oh, he's back. No. It's just something that happened in time. Wilder did what he used to do, and he surprised people. And I don't think it had anything with turning back the clock or any of that. No. None of that. Daniel got a jab second to none. It's a weapon. Yep. That's what he put on Joshua. Made Joshua all back up. Joshua didn't know what to do with that jab. You jab with the jabber. That dude jabs you. You know what I mean? Like, look, I don't know what he was thinking in that fight, bro. And like Johnny Nelson said, like, look, he needs to retire if he can't get his head together. If he can't get his mind right, he needs to retire. Nobody wants to see that shit. AJ's supposed to won that fight, man. That's all AJ's fault. AJ's supposed to won that fight. Danny just did what he's supposed to do. They worked on a game plan, and AJ wasn't ready. You know, I don't know if he underestimated. I don't care. He just wasn't ready. He should have been ready. That's not a good enough excuse. That's not an excuse. Because like I said, Daniel Dubois is a guy that he's like, people are not going to take him lightly. They're going to fight him harder. You know what I mean? So Daniel has to be ready, because Daniel has let the cat out of the bag. Like, yo, I ain't that same bro. I'm the dude that likes to throw those bows. Right? He likes to punch, man. He likes to get it in. Big solid bloke like that. That's a young guy, man. AJ just muscle. He just put on this muscle and all that, man. Nah, bro. Daniel Dubois is naturally built like that. But I'm going to tell you, the cat's out of the bag. People ain't going to be taking that boy lightly. They're going to be fighting that guy because they're going to want that IBF. Because they're going to be the one that got, they're going to be, everyone now wants to be the guy that dethrones him. They want to knock him off his guard. I mean, as a man now, not that kid that was pushed by Queensberry. And the only reason that he was signed to Queensberry was because of Anthony Joshua. Okay? Great point. New generation, though, Mr. Kurt, this ain't the Holyfield era. Nope. St. John say, Dubois double jab Joshua and effed him up. Like Clubber Lang said, dead meat. Yeah, man, Daniel Dubois beat him up. And AJ ain't ready. If you ain't the same, bro, get out the game. If you ain't the same, get out the game. Pain. Prediction. Pain. Yeah, man. Daniel Dubois had got that dense body. Yeah, he got a dense body. That dude will hit you. He's solid, bro. Look, okay. Look how Daniel Dubois walks. I got a friend that walks just like that, and you don't want to fuck with him. He will beat your ass because he walks fast. I mean, that's his stride. That's his, you know. This dude walks fast as shit. You remember the introduction where they're doing the thing, you know, AJ walking like he on a catwalk. Dubois walking, stepping. You know what I mean? That dude's ready to, because I mean, like that's a soldier's mentality. Seek, destroy. And you know I love me some body punches. Man, Jack Joshua up. Joshua ready for that. And it made him look bad, man. Made him look bad, man. So if AJ, listen, people, if AJ don't come into this rematch, the meanest looking AJ you ever saw, and ready for whatever, and get the job done, he is finished. Nobody don't want to watch that shit. And he better not act like an asshole after it's over either. He better not pull no Usyk 2 shit. Because, I mean, he's straight acting like an ass, bro. A spoiled, petty, just unglued ass in that fight. And then he tried to patch it up, which made it more fake looking because it's like, wait a minute, nah, bro, you really want to raise hell because you've already done it. You showed us your true colors. So a lot of people were like that. A lot of people, you know, listen, that's like, I used to date this chick, right? And she was always so nice. You know what I mean? That's why, like, nice, I think it's mostly a choice, not necessarily who you really are as a person in your character, you know? But then one day, like, I did something, and it was something like small, and that motherfucker went off. Listen! I was like, oh, hell no. You crazy. I got these pink slips here, and I want you to sign right here. And yeah, I got your pink slip. Yeah, you're done. You're done. Yeah, man, that dude straight unglued, bro. Joshua was unglued, bro. I ain't never seen him like that. But understand, when you are coached to act a certain way, and everything Joshua's pretty much said about Wilder and stuff like that, it's been erased from the internet. Oh yeah, Joshua's talk shit about Wilder on the internet. You just ain't gonna see that shit because right when it was posted, someone snatched it off, and it was before someone didn't recorded that shit and reposted somewhere. See, screenshots diabolical, man. You post something on the internet, people are they're gonna screenshot it quick before you can snatch it off. You pull that Javante Tank Davis, talk all that shit, then want to take it off tight? Nah. Somebody's going to already screenshot of that, bro. It's already archived in somebody's phone, and they're going to repost that shit to some website, and some other bigger website going to take it and repost it, and it's going to be right back out there. It ain't no running from it. It ain't no running. It ain't no hiding. So if you said it on the internet, it's going to be duplicated. But in AJ's case, I seen AJ talk about Deontay Wilder's pick when Deontay Wilder chose to pick Brazil. And Brazil was the man that, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he was not. He was not. He was, was he? No, he was. The WBC made Dominic Brazil the mandatory. I remember that. I remember that whack shit that Mauricio pulled. And AJ went off. And you just seen how he was talking. Brazil? He's fighting Brazil? You guys remember that? He went off on Wilder. He's fighting my leftovers and everybody thinks he's all that. And then they snatched it off. They snatched it. I haven't seen, I looked for it at one point. I can't find it. You can't find it, bro. They snatched that shit off because they're concerned with it affecting his image. But what happened when the image, the gig's up, the show's over? What happens when the image, okay, what happens when the image goes belly up? White got knocked out into the shadow realm by Povetkin. Then Triple D would knock White's head into the 10th row. Yeah, I'd like to see that though. I would look. You know what I want to see? I want to see White versus Dubois or White versus Anderson. Do you know why? Anderson already called out White. Anderson already said, "Man, somebody please feed me this bum." He called White a bum, bro. White's a lot of things, but I ain't gonna call him a bum. We all know he can't take uppercuts. We've known that for a long time. We've known that for a very long time, okay? We've learned that. We've learned that. But that being said, White should show or to want that fight. And see, this is what I don't like about White, and I figured White out. White manages Fabio Wardley, right? Okay, so he manages Fabio Wardley. All right. Who wins the trash talk, Chisora or Miller? Miller. I think Chisora will get mad before he beats Miller in a trash talk. See, Chisora will lose his shit because Miller won't shut up. And then see, Miller will do something like shove him or push him because Miller's gonna sell that fight. That's why I love Miller fights now, because Miller's gonna give you the excitement. He's gonna give you what we are accustomed to when you're dealing with someone promoting a fight and bringing out the worst, going below the belt, whatever it takes verbally to get under the fighter's skin. We seen this shit 6 years ago. See, Jarrell Miller showed us something that we were missing in boxing. The only problem was the dickhead had to take drugs. See, he had a hidden agenda, but that didn't stop his ability to talk, to sell fights, to sell himself, to get in position. You know what I mean? He could have broke. That dude could have been a unified heavyweight champion of the world. He could have been. And do you know what would have happened if he would have become the heavyweight champion of the world, unified? Sure, we would have to fight AJ again, probably Saudi Arabia or the UK or whatever, but him and Deontay Wilder would then be forced to view each other as equals, because Wilder let him tell it that Miller ain't shit, right? Miller ain't shit. And then if he would have beat AJ, he wouldn't have congratulated Miller like he did Andy. See, Andy was that kind of outsourced. He wasn't in that realm of fighters. Andy was that guy that just, got a good opportunity and he took it. He was over there at top rank. He wouldn't necessarily Heyman stock or trusted stock at that point. He was just this fighter that just recently signed with Al Heyman. He fought one fight with Al Heyman, and then he fought. Al Heyman let him go over there because Al Heyman really didn't have him in his stable like that. So he really didn't care what happened to Andy. He didn't look after Andy like he looked after Tank or Jermell Charlo or Edislandi Lara or Errol Spence. He didn't do any of that. What he did was, okay, Andy, go ahead and take that money from Eddie Hearn. Wish you luck. But what did Andy do? Andy surprised the hell out of everybody. And then what happened, Al Heyman seen, he's like, oh shit, wait a minute. We got a champion. We got a unified champion. We got the first ever unified champion. Bring his ass in here. That's when he sat down with Andy and his daddy. And then he was like, you know what? I like you. I like you, Andy. You showed initiative. I like you, Andy. Where's that contract? Senior, can you pick up that contract for me? Let me look at it. No, we'll fax it off. Put it on the printer. Put it on the printer. I like that. And then he looks at it. Oh, hell no. We're going to get you more money than that. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. We're going to get you more money. And that's exactly what he did. Andy Ruiz versus Dillian Whyte would be interesting. It would be interesting. And I think the trash talk would be very good. You know what? The sad thing is, and this is what hurt Andy. Andy got beside himself. Andy didn't take the money. And Andy let a lot of fights pass him by. I mean, reasonable fights. I mean, legitimate fights. Can you imagine if Andy would have fought Dillian Whyte in 2020? Don't you guys understand? If Andy would have fought Dillian Whyte in 2020, there's a chance that Dillian Whyte would have beat Andy Ruiz, or Ruiz would have beat him. However, he would have never fought Povetkin. See, people don't understand how if certain fights, because of ducks and bullshit and stalls and things of that nature happened, and because they happened, it changed the whole route of how boxing was. Now Dillian Whyte was looking for someone just as credible. Okay, Povetkin. I can beat Povetkin. Put Povetkin's ass in there. You mean the one AJ just knocked out a couple years ago? Yeah, I can knock out Povetkin. Put him in there with me. And he dropped him twice, and then he got knocked out cold. Big C, good day to you. Anis Amara, counterpunch to you, brother. I like the Whyte would have KO'd Ruiz. I feel like Whyte. He probably would have, because Whyte was a different animal then, bro. You got to remember that Whyte whooped. Okay, he whooped Lucas Brown, undefeated cheat. He whooped Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker just lost his belts to AJ in a kind of, very controversial fight, really. It was a chess match. It was boring. Then he went to, who else did he fight? He knocked out Derek Chisora. He ended that rivalry. Then what happened in 2020? He wanted to fight Ruiz's fat ass. Ruiz didn't want none. No, they're not. They're lying. Papá, ellos mentira, ellos no tenemos dinero, ellos no tenemos dinero para mí. Nah, bro. He didn't want that money. He didn't want that smoke because he had money. See, Andy was probably sitting on $6 million, especially at the ass end of 19. So when he received that money, they gave him that damn money in the dressing room. That's how it works. A legit promoter and network, DAZN, Andy Ruiz left Saudi Arabia with that check. Yes, Ruiz thought the deal was fake, although he did business with Eddie Hearn before. Yeah, Andy full of shit. Andy knew that deal was real. He just was fighting the guy second in command. He beat the guy that was up top. Then he got beat by the guy that was up top. Then he's fighting the guy that's the second in command at Matchroom, and his name was Dillian Whyte. He knew better than that. He knew Eddie didn't fuck around with him. He didn't want that fight. Why? Because he was too busy smoking weed, doing IV, probably doing coke, hanging out with Jake Paul still. Because remember, He got fat as hell before the fight. And then what did you think he did after the fight? You think he just really sat around? No. Bro, Andy partied. He partied that damn money. And he probably waved AKs at his ex-wife and all that shit. And scared her and gave her a reason to burn him. Because she tried to bury Andy Ruiz. You know, she brought all that stuff up about him. She was the one that exposed him and posted those pictures on his account. Him holding weed, and he's sitting there holding these like 2 pounds of weed in each hand. You know what I mean? IVs. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something else. Speaking of weed, why you think Andy Ruiz really didn't take that damn fight? Andy Ruiz didn't take the fight because he was high. That's right. Andy Ruiz did not take those fights, not only because he was scared, he was satisfied with the money that he received from the Anthony Joshua fight. He received $13 million and he started getting high. He started getting high, he started eating, and he started getting dehydrated. He was probably doing some drugs, and then he's had to get some IVs like Diddy, right? Why do you think Diddy and his mom talked about IVs? Okay, what did Andy Ruiz's girlfriend say? Andy Ruiz's girlfriend said what? He had IVs. That's what they posted, right? That's that party shit. When you're getting dehydrated because you're doing too much partying, you're doing too much substance to keep the proper amount of hydration in your body. Andy was getting high. That's what happened to Andy. It just hit me. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. IVs, weed, you know what I mean? She probably didn't see all the other stuff he was doing. But yeah. Or that he was juicing. You know what I mean? That he was taking diuretics. But think about it. If you had diuretics, you would need an IV anyway. Because diuretics makes you lose or drop water retention, right? To lose weight. I'm on my treadmill. Think about it. Think about it. Andy Ruiz was getting high. That's why. Bars. Andy Ruiz was getting high, bro. Wake and bake Andy. Andy was waking up. I want to smoke me get that sneaker. I know a way. Listen. Listen. If you take the Snicker and you freeze it, you gotta freeze it for like 30 minutes. No bullshit. Listen. Listen. Freeze it for like 30 minutes. It has to be rock solid. Fucking God. Listen, if you put it in the freezer for 30 seconds, you gotta let the Snicker get real frozen, and then you put it in the microwave, and then the middle center, you can't let it go long. You have to go 5 seconds, and then watch it, and then go another 5 seconds, and then everything in the middle is nice and warm, and the outside still cold. And say, yeah, listen, jingar, kill. That's what happens. That's what Andy was doing. Oh, it's my bitch wife. Wait, put it out. She's coming. Hey, baby, how you doing? Here's Andy. Hey, baby, how you doing? Oh, you're fucking high again, you payaso. You fucking payaso. You're high again? That's the life. I beat Anthony Joshua. I'm the first Mexican in primero campeón de la mundo. That's him. That's him. That was what all he was doing, getting high. So when then real business came on, and maybe his dad was. Oh, who's this? Oh, that's dad. Hey, dad. Hey, Kevin. You need to sleep this shit alone. Listen, we got a deal for Eddie Hearn. He wants you to fight the Mayate. You know, the pinche Mayate with the mohawk. Oh, you mean White? I don't want to fight him. He's kind of tough. I'm just living a life right now, papa. Vive lo nuestro. Vive lo nuestro. Listen, we need this money. He comes with $4 million. I have $7 million. I don't need his $4 million. I don't need it, papa. Listen, that's what I'm telling you, bro. That's exactly what happened. And then that's what that in Ruiz, he pissed this. Look, he got too successful at one time. You know what I mean? And see, in Ruiz, see, if he would have lost that fight with AJ, he wouldn't have got a lot of money. He would have got enough money to keep him going. So that 7 million probably would have been 2.5, 3 after he paid everybody his taxes and the sanctioning fees and all that. He would have probably walked away with 2.8, 2.9 mil. Okay. That would have caused him, he wouldn't have had, 2.8, 2.9 million in California. That's not a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's money, but it's not a lot of money. You can live, but how can you live? You can't live like you had 8 or 9 million. You know what I'm saying? For a while, sure, but not for, you know what I mean? Not for a long period of time. And see, when he beat AJ, he already knew, I'm going to fight him again. It doesn't matter. He's a heavyweight. Nobody gives a shit about you. Don't have to make weight when you're a heavyweight. So it ain't nothing he had to work up to. All he figured in his mind, I'm going to hit him again with the left hook. You see how easy it was? I hit him and it's almost like a robot just went into shock. I hit him like my heart, my left hook was electricidad. You seen Joshua, he I bet you they clowned, bro. They clowned Joshua so bad after that beating, bro. They clowned him so bad. I'm telling you, they clowned AJ so bad. I bet you they got high, and I bet you they got him and his buddies in Southern California, got up, smoked weed, made food, ate cupcakes, Twinkies, and fucking cakes and pies and shit. And you know what they did? You know what they did after that? They turned that damn fight on. They would watch that. I bet you Andy has watched Joshua Ruiz 3,100 times. I bet you he's watched that fight 3,100 times. Too successful, way too fast. Never really learned to appreciate it. No, it just happened. In which he's kind of stupid because he was homeless. But then that shows you, you're going from homeless to having that much. You don't really know because you've been to the lowest of low and then you're way up here now. So you're way up here and that's a big jump. And when you're up there, you don't care. When you're up there, you just don't care. You know what I mean? Kurt, you see the Floyd Mayweather news. Does that math make sense? 44 million for 1,000 units in New York. 440 million. I haven't seen it. I have to, send me the link or send me a screenshot of whatever you're talking about. Man, Andy finished. Why giving him attention? I mean, I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. Wilder acted all buddy with Ruiz to his face, but was laughing behind his back. Well, Wilder had his own inner demons because he was trying to compete with AJ. See, Wilder was trying to compete with AJ. Andy was a replacement that got lucky. Jarrell Miller filled Deontay Wilder's place because Deontay Wilder wanted to act like a prima donna where he had no ground and no reason to. He could have took that $15 million or that 12.5 or whatever it is. Either one of them I would have took. See, here's the problem. He wanted to act like he was better than those amounts. We all knew Wilder wasn't making shit because we knew what his fight purses were. You know what I mean? So it didn't really matter at that point. I didn't understand what Wilder's deal was. But understand this. Wilder was being preached and coached by Shelly Finkel, JD's, Al Heyman. Lou DiBella was the only person that actually tried to help him to get that fight, to get this money. Because he was his actual fucking promoter. Lou DiBella was his promoter. That was Wilder's last promoter. And he ain't had one in 6 years. He's had a manager, right? Or a co-manager. He's had he's a manager, then a co-manager, JD's and Shelly Finkel. Then he's had an advisor. What about Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua 3? I mean, here's the thing. Do we want to see that? Would you guys like to see that? Because honestly, what has Andy done lately? Andy ain't done enough. AJ got his ass whooped lately. But what has Andy done lately? He broke his hand. He got a draw. A lot of people thought that he got his ass whooped. They didn't think he won that fight. He was stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Yep, that's all he was doing. But he thought that one day that they were going to offer him 150 million or 200 million. And I think he like, all money ain't good money. But I mean, he could have said the same thing about with Turkey al-Sheikh. He could have said that same claim. All money ain't good money. I ain't going to go way over there and fight on some app on your phone just to make some folks happy. I ain't doing that because I'm loyal to the people that's loyal to me. You remember that? Shit. Now everything's reversed. Everything's reversed. Now he's taking every Tom, Dick, and Harry fight that he can. Let me tell you guys something before I jump off here. I do feel bad for Wilder. I really do. I mean, I really mean that. I hate to see Wilder in this situation because the man's hurt. He's hurting. Oh, he's hurt. And what's fucked up about Wilder is Wilder's hurt, yeah, but Wilder hurt a lot of people in the process. See, he got the money, he got the girl, he had another kid, he already had a gang of kids, but he got this, you know what I mean? So he got everything he feel that he wanted. But in the meantime, he walked and stepped over some people. He did. You know what I mean? And he thought that he had it all, and he thought the people that were going to be with him at that point, and which a lot of them are still there, to really be honest, but he pissed a lot of people off too. You know what I mean? Chantal's supposed to stay with that brother, and she didn't. I believe she was cheating. Yeah, she had somebody on the side that she probably actually liked. I can tell, listen, people, let me tell you something. I can tell the chemistry between people. And that woman that he had that child, his baby mama, that fine ass chick, Chantal Telly Swift, whatever her name is, she was not on the level with Wilder, and vice versa. They weren't like intellectually compatible. No, because I remember seeing them in in Rome. Remember when they went to see the Vatican? And Wilder was saying, well, what is all that? And she was like, no, honey, this is, you know, she had to educate him. And you could tell it was more like, it wasn't a belittling thing. It was, she seemed like she was more annoyed. Like you, how the fuck you don't know that? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that. I don't see that. I don't. I think, you know, a lot of people look at that and view that as, you know, one of those, you know, like, look, people are with people for reasons. You know, I mean, she had a kid together. I didn't know she already had a kid. But yeah, Wilder had character. Maybe not a good character, but he has character. He does. So, you know, Ludabella and Breland truly cared for Wilder, and he effed him over. Yeah. I mean, it was more than that. That was bro. Let me tell you guys something. I might, but I may. But I don't have enough members for that. If I had 1,000 members, 500 members, yeah, I would post that. But I'm not gonna do it, not because it's not like I was told from a close family. I mean, close and close and close. This woman called me, and this woman told me like so many things that I didn't know about Wilder and the whole family. And I was just, you know, blown away. You know, like a lot of people tell me things about that, but no, quiet kept. Allegedly she cheated on him. That's why he started looking through people's stuff. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when you're mad because someone goes through your stuff, chances are your ass was cheating and they found out something that you were doing. Let's just keep it real. Now, did you care for them to find it? You know, did you throw it in their face? No, but they found out because they wanted to find out, because they either had an Iggin suspicion or, you know, clairvoyantness or whatever the case is. But they found out, and Wilder found out because he went through her shit. And that's when he started calling people. And that's what she complained to the cops about. Like, oh, he went through my personal thing and my personal contacts, and he contacted these people and told them. No, he found out some shit that you was probably telling them that you had no right to be telling them, being his woman. You know what I mean? That's what. That's the skinny, mate. Choose carefully your spouse. Absolutely. So Wilder's hurting, bro. That dude's hurt. He ain't even talk. He ain't got the energy to talk about AJ. AJ got knocked out. And he ain't said nothing. Wilder has not spoken, bro. Wilder's hurt. And that's what makes me feel bad for him. Because like my man said, Stewart said, hey, he got character. May not have good character all the time, but he has character. He knows how to and when to say something. Yeah, I told y'all AJ go get knocked out. It should have been me. That's why they didn't want that, you know? And he can't say nothing. He's hurt, bro. That dude's hurt. And I hate that because I've been there. You know what I mean? Women will, regardless of what you hear about me, women will destroy you. Women will and can destroy you. You know what I mean? Like, you put your trust, they will destroy you. They will upset you, disappoint you, you know, hurt you, and then destroy you if you let it. Let's keep it 1,000. He probably cheated from the word go. Probably so. You think Wilder didn't cheat with all them damn kids? You know how this shit goes, man. It may seem chauvinist or, well, misogynistic and all that. Men are going to cheat. Men are going to cheat. The ones that say, oh, don't cheat, those are the ones that's cheating the most. You know what I mean? Wilder was the paper champion. He was trash since day one. I ain't going to say that. Did he have the skills? Did he have the best? No, he didn't. Did he have the power? Yes, he did. Did he have the heart? Yes, he did. It's a lot of people you can say that about. But call him trash from day one. That sounds like some haterade, Jose. I'm just going to keep it a buck. No, he's not a boxer. No, he's not really even a slugger. He's a puncher. Can he fight? No, not really. But he can punch you and knock you the hell out. And then he talks shit. And then he built himself for $500,000, $200,000, $300,000 a fight, purses, to 1.8 to, you know what I mean, to 12.5 to 15 million. He did that on his own cognizance. Kurt, so you cheat. How can I cheat? I don't have nobody. I'm single. I'm just saying. Wilder felt being in miserable situation. Felt being in a miserable situation. That's why he didn't react to AJ's downfall. Because he knows misery. And look, see, here's the thing. That's right. Now, I just thought it was cold how she did him. You filed a now I understand, like, okay, well, if he lost that fight, he was acting violent the last time. He was acting violent the last time. So since he was acting violent the last time, it was like, okay, this is what it is. Okay. But, you know, maybe she thought he was going to jump on her. I just thought that was a tacky ass time to do so. I'm sorry. Kurt, you literally gave Wilder a backhand compliment. Well, I mean, it ain't a backhand compliment. It's just the truth. Like you say, I'm speaking nothing but the facts. Well, the facts of calling him trash, you're just pretty much dissing him. You know, the dude has heart. Look, here's the thing. He was able to drop Fury 4 times with none of that stuff that he had, but heart and power, right? So there you go. So, nah, man, it's just, I just didn't like, and this is what I didn't like. I didn't like the fans of Wilder treating him, he was this, like this golden goose, and he was not. That's what pissed me off. I'm like, dude, you know, you guys talk about Wilder like he's all that, and he has his own flaws and stuff, you know? I just call it all the same. I just call it like I see it. Wilder was a cooked goose. Kurt, is Wilder a Hall of Fame boxer? No, he's not a Hall of Fame boxer. What gives you that damn idea? No, What? I mean, if he's a Hall of Fame boxer, we might as well start making everybody Hall of Fame boxers. Quan Big Guns, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. That's why I still want to see him against AJ or Miller or Ruiz. Well, here's the thing. If he's done, that's the only way we're going to know he's done. Kurt, I just observed British fighters. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get this one.
Fort Worth.
Damn, I
was already there. No. Welcome to Shreveport. Shout out to them. Okay. So this is Tyson versus Paul. Fight is happening. Oh yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah, I think so. But if he hurts him, I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna get John 5 to train me, and we're gonna go after Jake Paul.
Jake Paul? Yeah. Oh yeah, you can fuck Jake Paul with.
Yep.
But you gotta watch out for the steroids.
Right.
Cause that's what he doing.
See? Told you. Ask Skip, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. WBC champion is still top level. He did his thing.
Steroids is going to be worked out.
Is Kurt going to Tyson Paul? No, I'm not. But I'm about to get cut up, guys. Appreciate you. Had a great time tonight. We will reconvene probably tomorrow. We're going to do a live tomorrow, man. Get right back on it. I like this stream. We had a lot of good moments in the stream. You guys be good. TGIF. Of course, please subscribe. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.